What did y'all see as the differences with Dak Prescott last night? They were, I don't care what they say, they just don't want to admit it. They were in an offensive slump, and Dak had been in a slump. And then last night, 28 of 39 for 330, 4 touchdowns. He did get sacked 3 times, which is kind of surprising. You think back and you're like, he didn't get sacked 3 times. The QBR was a 72.7, and the QB rating was through the roof with a 131.4. What did you notice, Kevin, or what did you take away?
I think the biggest thing for me was his ability to use his legs and his ability to make plays when he had to, was decisive when he needed to, and more importantly, I think for him, being able to get the kind of communication and flow with his receivers was fantastic. He used 9 different receivers in the first half alone, for pass catches. I thought the way that he came out, 3-step drop, making plays with his legs, it looked like the guy that I saw the first 6 weeks of the season versus what we've seen the last really 6 weeks of the season. I thought Dak Prescott, in a variety of ways, reminded a lot of us of the strides that he had already been making as a player, and he really put it all together, I thought, in a lot of different ways last night.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. His first 300-yard game since a month ago, really, November 25th against the Raiders. And a lot of that came later on.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, yeah.
His first 3-touchdown game, he threw 4, but the first time he had thrown 3 since the Patriot game on October 17th. And it was the second highest rushing game of the season. He had 35 against the Panthers at home on October 3rd. Last night, he had 4 for 21. I was going more crazy over these 4 or 5-yard scrambles than any of the throws that he made. Because, and RJ and I had gone back and forth. RJ is a slave to QBR and whatever stat. He just thinks, you should just run around nonstop because it adds to your QBR. And I'm like, no, you need to drop back and be able to throw first, second, third, and fourth. And I was with Jerry early on because we all know if your quarterback gets hurt, see you later, season over, bye-bye, despite the Cooper Rush fans that are out there. And I said, don't run. Do not sit there, design quarterback runs and option plays and all that stuff. Dak's not that type of athlete, and I don't want to see him get hurt. But there was a point during this slump, Kevin, where I felt like he needed to run through that A gap, that B gap, when the offensive line was letting him down, just to create the threat. Just so the defensive ends know, I can't go too far up the field. I can't over-pursue because this guy will take off for that Russell Wilson, right? They don't really run Russ like that. Russ is just a master at running on his own. And Dak, early on last night, for the first time in what felt like forever, maybe for the first time all season, felt the rush. These were not design runs. Felt the rush, felt the pressure, and took off. And that, to me, showed confidence. That showed awareness. And that shows the defense something else that they have to be on the lookout for. And I loved it. Yeah, because I don't think we're asking him to be Lamar Jackson. We're not asking him to be Josh Allen. We're not asking him to do the kinds of things that the quarterbacks with that kind of athleticism do in terms of using their legs. But the ability to keep defenses honest, his ability to use his awareness to climb the pocket, still keep his eyes downfield and make throws on the run. I think, to me, for him, getting over the mental hurdle of the ankle and the calf injury and being able to say, hey, I can still be that quarterback who at times can make plays with his legs, because in the playoffs, you're going to need to extend drives at times with your legs, and Dak Prescott can do that when he decides to do so. And I thought his decision-making and his decisiveness to use his legs when he needed to was the best part about what he was able to develop as far as what he had been missing over the last several weeks. When Chris and I talked to Mike McCarthy on Friday, you could tell that this is a man that, look, he felt like this team was close and wasn't necessarily panicking about what his offense was doing from a lack of production and what you hadn't seen during the first 6 weeks of the season. And I think for him to see his offense perform the way that they did, I think reassures him that what they're doing from a conceptual standpoint and what they're trying to do to attack teams, they're still capable of doing that. And that going forward, they can do that against, the Tampa Bays of the world, the Packers of the world, the upper echelon teams, to where this offense can still give them a chance, to win games, especially deep into the playoffs potentially.